I thought you were going to sing. That's also part of the program. Yes, they are going to sing. How are you? Thanks. You're hiding. I'm supposed to say
whatever you feel.
खंडमंडलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनं शलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। Shri Gurubhyo Namah. So as usual, this year also Saraswati and the other Devis here have been kind enough to invite me for puja. It's always been a delightful thing to come over here. Devi looks very beautiful. Everybody will vouch for it. I don't have to say this. So, since we are here on Navaratri, puja is going on for the Devi. Most of you have been chanting the Saundari Lahari. In fact, they have been kind enough to come to Marnapalli and chant. Saundarya Lahari once in a while. I'm very happy that the meditation hall is blessed by the chantings.
We are blessed. We are blessed.
Mutually. Yeah. So, so that's nice. Now, the concept of worshipping Devi, Tripura Sundari, Rajarajeshwari, is first of all a worship of the supreme energy of action, love and destruction, all three put together. She is called Tripura Sundari, the Sundari, the most beautiful belonging to the Tripuras. Now, even those who have no understanding of the worship of the Devi, or who have no understanding of what Dasha Mahavidyas are, or what is Saundarya Lahari, or Lalita Sahasranama, or Chanti, or anything of that sort, even those who don't know all this. Matter of fact, we're all worshippers of Shakti, whether you like it or you don't like it, including the non-believers who shed blood with a red flag are all worshippers of Devi indirectly, because what they seek is power. And Devi is Parashakti. Parashakti meaning undifferentiated energy, undifferentiated Shakti, power that pervades the universe, and which is there in the beginning of creation, becomes the creation, evolves, and then goes back to its quietness. The thing is, when this energy is in a quiet state, she is Shanta Durga. When she is in her activity, then she becomes Nada, Bindu and the Kamakala. In fact, it is that energy which creates the human being from the fetus on to the full form, and after having created and perfected the physical structure and the mind, goes to its place in the bottom of the spine and becomes quiet. So, when the Kaulacharans, the Vamacharans, worship the Muladhara as a triangle with a dot in the middle, they are actually worshipping the energy which has done its work and is now become quiet and silent. When it then gets aroused, then the evolution, physical is over. Evolution then is spiritual. So, while the physical evolution starts from the top and comes down, the spiritual evolution starts from the bottom and goes up back to its source. Right? Because the source is always Urdhva Moolam. The roots are above and the branches below. Now this is the inner aspect of. Now there is inner, outer, everything is there. There is Kaulachara, Samaya Marga. There are different differentiations of the worship of the Devi. Sri Vidya is in many forms. There is Dasha Mahavidya, there is the Shodashakshari, there is the Dasakshari, Panchadashakshari. There are so many variations. These are all technical things. What we should understand is, in this process, it is a worship of something beautiful, something which is the root of our desires, which is the root of all our energies put together. It's the source of all these energies. And for a normal human being, it's but natural to worship it externally. As one progresses in the spiritual path, then the worship turns within. From Bahya, it becomes Antya. Antra, that means from the Dhara Akasha becomes the Hridaya Akasha. And the whole of the Sri Chakra, Sri Yantra, on which Devi is seated in the middle, the Bindu, is worshipped in the Samayacharyas, that is the Samaya Marga, of which the most important textbook, of course, is Adi Shankaracharya's Saundarya Lahiri, in the heart. First you worship outside, then you transfer the worship to your heart center, worship it there, and then lead the Devi up to the Sahasrara, where sits her Shiva waiting for her to meet. And then that ecstasy and energy, the human being disappears and there is only the divinity. So the basic thing is that every human being is potentially divine. And this divinity manifests itself in different ways. Of course, these mantras this teaching have to be taken personally from person to person and not by reading books. This is not possible. These are not things which can be. So therefore, in fact, we even go to the extent of saying that without Shakti's movement, Shiva himself is silent and powerless. Here Shiva means the Supreme Being who is in all quietness and balance. The very first sloka of the Saundarya Lahiri. Shiva Shaktya yukto yadi bhavati shaktaha prabhavitam na chedevam devo na kalu kushalaha spanditumavi. That itself says, without the presence of you, O Devi, even Shiva is silent and cannot do a thing. Many husbands know this, no? So, this energy, then we say that who am I to praise you? Tastvam aradhyam harihara virinjati piravi pranantum stotam kathamakrita punya prabhavati. O great Devi, even Harihara and Virinji all worship, who am I to praise you? Such a low being. That without your movement in the spanna, in the esoteric section, in the middle there is always a bindu. And the Sri Chakra is made. There are two ways of making it. One is called the Samhara Chakra. Other is called the Srishti Chakra. Usually the Samayacharyans use the Srishti Chakra, not the Samhara Chakra. Both have 9 triangles. In one, the Shiva triangles and the Shakti triangles, but in both, the Shakti triangles are more in number than Shiva triangles. Shiva triangles are only 4, while the Shakti triangles are 5. When they are interposed together in a certain pattern, in the middle space comes the bindu. That is the center of movement. You know, a bindu means a dot. Bindi, bindu. Now this bindu is a dot. Even the simplest element in geometry is a straight line. Straight line is made up of dots. Bindu. And it's also the spandana, that is the movement that starts pulsating, tuck, 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 and then the whole creation. In the same way, when the yogi meditates, he goes back to the center. Now this is all accompanied by feelings of great ecstasy. Therefore, all this theory which I am talking, without an element of bhakti and bhava, is useless. We can study volumes about the Dasha Mahavidyas, but that bhakti element is not there, then these things don't work, because bhakti is only a manifestation of the kama kala, desire for satisfaction, the desire for happiness, the desire, the origin of all desires. Only that the yogi discovers that this desire is more important than other desires. So, therefore also Sri Vidya is meant for all. It is not meant only for the sannyasin. In fact, sannyasins find it difficult to do this, because we are surrounded by so many things. So to worship Devi as Shakti, as Kama, as Kala, as Bindu, as desire, in everything that you see, every little atom, is the whole process of what we call Tantra. It's not a bad word. This is the real meaning of the word Tantra. So therefore, the Sri Vidya is the Tantra Gayatri, which is very similar to the Veda Gayatri. Now, this devotional aspect of Sri Vidya, you know that Adi Shankara was a great Vedanti. Jagat Mithya, Brahma Satyam. But he was the one who also authored the Saundarya. So, now in that, because he was a Samayacharyan with a great tradition of from his family itself. There are still a group of families in the northern Kerala who come from this lineage. Actually, on the 9th of December, they have asked me to come to Kodungalur Bhagavati temple for a Sri Vidya meeting. I was terrified because they are all traditional Nambudri families who have been Sri Vidya Upasakas for 800 years. And I said, are you sure that I have to come for this? No, sir, you have to come. They know the mantras, they know all that. But actually, we don't know what is going on. Exactly what's going on. Why we are doing this, we have to find out. So these are the things. And I said, can you get some youngsters to come? Because at least this generation, there will be something going. So, when Shankara wrote this, what he was trying to convey is that this intellectually Vedantic thing is not enough. One has to go beyond. Otherwise, after doing all these Veda Bhyas, Bhashyas, why would he sing Bhaja Govindam? That shows the importance of the heart. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudamade. Fool, chant the name of Govinda. This is not going to help you. All this Dukkrana Karane, splitting of verbs and nouns. So this is so important. And as you read the Saundarya Lahari, which while there are other textbooks, I have a special affiliation to the Saundarya Lahari because it, in the 32nd verse of the Saundarya Lahari, in fact, the Ananda Lahari is up to 40. The rest make 41. The rest make Saundarya Lahari. In the 32nd sloka, the Sri Vidya Panchadashakshari mantra is put in coded words. If somebody knows how to open it, you can find out. And it's Kadi Vidya, because it starts with Ka, the number of Rilekas. Of course, one has to learn it from a teacher and chant for the awakening of the energies inside. Now, while that is done, there are also beautiful sections where he praises Devi with so much. First, starting itself, I told you, Shiva Shaktya Yukto Iti. In fact, Bhaskara Raya, one of the commentators on the song, will go to the extent of saying that Shiva is not important for us. Shakti is more important for us. Of course, there is Lakshmi Dhara who doesn't agree with it because he is from the Samaya Marga. He is a Kaula. Do you know that in Kashmir, the Kauls were once upon a time the practitioner of Kaula Marg. Later on they became shortened to Kauls. And one branch of the family still has a lot of power, who became Nehrus. Anyway, so this energy is something to be looked at. First, purity of mind, with a great devotion. And when Shankaracharya describes, there are some places where the beauty of the Devi is described in such beautiful terms. You are all Saundarya readers, I don't have to tell you. One, of course, my favorite is Bhavani Tvam Dase, Mai Vitara Drishtim Sakaruna. Iti Stotum Vanchan Kathayati Bhavani Tvam Itiya. Tadaiva Tvam Tasmai Dishasi Nija Sayujya Padavim Mukunda Brahmendra Sputa Makta Nirajita Padam. That means Bhavani, when you are, Bhavani is the Devi worshipped as the Lord, the Devi of all that is there in this Bhava. So, yes, even when you say Bhavani Tvam, before completing the sentence, When I say, "Oh Bhavani," then itself your grace falls on me, and I am raised above all the three creating, destructing and preserving gods on whose crowns you rest your feet. Then there is the classic description of Rajarajeshwari, Tripura Sundari, Konakkanchi Dama Karikalabhakumbhastananata Parikshina Madhye Parinata Sarachandra Vadanam Dhanurbanan Pasham Srinumapi Tathana Karatalai Purastadastam Napuramatis Aho Purushika. Now if this is chanted with full understanding of where to invoke the Devi in the human system, this Aho Purushika actually immediately invokes the presence of the Devi. That means, "Come on, Devi." Aho, meaning it's an exclamation. Saying, "Aho Purushika," here stands this Purushika, Konat Kanchita, with wearing jingling anklets, with heavy breasts like the protrusions of the head of an elephant, and Parikshina Madhye, with the middle being like, what we try to imitate, the hourglass figures, and Parinata Sarachandra Vadanam, and the face like the beautiful moon. This Devi I worship, who holds the bow made of sugarcane, whose arrows are the flowers of Kamadeva, with the goad to push and the pasham to hold. This Devi's description is so beautifully expressed by Shankar. So, since you are all doing this Saundara Lahari, remember that the Devi, actually, the Devi that one can access, really resides in our centers. Saundara Lahari is full of the descriptions of the awakening of the energies, starting from Muladhara to the Sahasrara. Every chakra is described. Every place Devi is invoked. Every Vijakshara is used, and then she is taken up there and made to live with her Lord. Then the human being is forgotten, and there is only the ecstasy, the lahiri of Saundarya. This is the whole process. And when we do the navaratri puja, Navadurgas are being worshipped every day, we should always think that not only are we doing it as an external worship, out of devotion and understanding, we are doing a very, very sacred thing which can invoke the Devi in our hearts. So I'm sure you are doing everything in a proper way. Always start with the Bala, Aim, Klim, So, and then proceed. Beyond this, I cannot talk publicly like this. So this is what I wanted to. In fact, without Bhadrakali, I would not have been sitting here today. Only after invoking Bhadrakali that the fellows ran for their lives. Take the mic. Sit here. We can turn.
सतगुरु चरण की गंगा वाहें मन मैला सब धोवे रे शिव मेरे कब तुझ से नाता एक हुई रे गुरु दर्शन के प्रेम की धारा अंग में अमृत गोले रे शिव मेरे कब तुझ से नाता एक हुई रे। गगन मंडल में गुरु जी आरा, हरे गगन मंडल में गुरु जी आरा। शिव गोरखियाँ दिन से रे, टूट गए मोह सब्र बंधन, शिवो हम हुई रे। टूट गए मोह सब्र बंधन, शिवो हम हुई रे। अलक निरंजन कर शिवोम, अलक निरंजन कर शिवोम, अलक निरंजन कर शिवोम, अलक निरंजन कर शिवोम, शिवोम ओम।
Where did you learn the alak niranjan?
Gurnath, my guru.
I finished talking.
Mic வேண்டாம்.
We're going to chant. Shiru.
ராகம் வேண்டாம். ஸ்லோகமா chant பண்ணுங்க.
शिवशक्त्या युक्तो यदि भवति शक्तः प्रभवेतुं, न चेदेवं देवो न खलु कुशलः स्पन्दितुमपि। अतस्त्वामाराध्यां हरिहरविरिञ्चादिभिरपि प्रणन्तुं स्तोतुं वा कथमकृतपुण्यः प्रभवति। तनीयां सम्पांसुं तव चरणपङ्केरुहभवं विरिञ्चिः सञ्चिन्वन् विरजयति लोकानविकलं। वहत्येनं शौरिः कथमपि श्रेण शिरसां हरः संक्षुध्यैनं भजति बसितो दूलनविधिम्। अविद्यानाम् अन्तस्तिमिरमिहिर द्वीपनगरे, जडानां चैतन्य स्तबकमकरन्दश्रुतिजरे, दरिद्राणां चिन्तामणिगुणनिका जन्मजलधौ, निमग्नानां दंष्ट्रामुररिपु वराहस्य भवति। त्वदन्यः पाणिभ्याम् अभयवरदो दैवतगणः, त्वमेका नैवासि प्रकटितवराभीत्यविनया। भयात्रातुं दातुं फलमपि च वाञ्छासमधिकम्। शरण्ये लोकानां तव हि चरणावेव निपुणौ। हरिस्त्वामाराध्य प्रणतजनसौभाग्यजननी, पुरानारी भूत्वा पुररिपुमपि क्षोभमनयत्। स्मरोऽपि त्वां नत्वा रतिनयनलेह्येन वपुषा, मुनीनामप्यन्तः प्रभवति मोहाय महता।
One more sloka maybe. Volume down.
नागेन्द्रहाराय त्रिलोचनाय भस्माङ्गरागाय महेश्वराय नित्याय शोधाय दिगम्बराय तस्मै नकाराय नमः शिवाय मन्दाकिनी सलिलचन्दनचर्चिताय नन्दीश्वर प्रमथनाथ महेश्वराय मन्दारपुष्प बहुपुष्पसु पूजिताय तस्मै मकाराय नमः शिवाय शिवाय गौरी वदनाब्जवृन्द सूर्याय दक्षाध्वरनाशकाय श्रीनीलकण्ठाय वृषभध्वजाय तस्मै शिकाराय नमः शिवाय वसिष्ठकुम्भो भवगौतमाय मुनीन्द्रदेवार्चितशेखराय चन्द्रार्कवैश्वानरलोचनाय तस्मै वकाराय नमः शिवाय यक्षस्वरूपाय जटाधराय पिनाकहस्ताय सनातनाय दिव्याय देवाय दिगम्बराय तस्मै यकाराय नमः शिवाय पञ्चाक्षरमिदं पुण्यं यः पठेत् शिवसन्निधौ शिवलोकमवाप्नोति शिवेन सह मोदते
श्रीभागवी भद्रं मे दिशतु श्रीभागवी भद्रं मे दिशतु श्रीरङ्गदामेश्वरी श्रीभागवी भद्रं मे दिशतु श्रीरङ्गदामेश्वरी सौभाग्यलक्ष्मी 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 सततं मामवतु सकल लोक मदन गुरुमानिनी मम मनसि तीक्ष्णतु मधुकर विजय मङ्गली कैशिका निवसतु मदन गुरुमानिनी मम मनसि तीक्ष्णतु मधुकर विजय मङ्गली कैशिका निवसतु सदन मध्ये महालक्ष्मी सदा विजयतु सामज हेमकुम्भस्नासिता विजयतु सदनयनाननकरनलिनि परमपुरुष हरि प्रणयनि वदन कमल गुरु गुहधरणि वदन तरङ्गनाथरमणि श्री वाघवी भद्रो मे दिशतु श्रीरङ्गदामेश्वरी।
ഗുരുവായൂരപ്പ നിന്നെ കണി കാണണം ചെത്തി മന്ദാരം തുളസി പിച്ചകമാലകൾ ചാർത്തി ഗുരുവായൂരപ്പ നിന്നെ കണി കാണണം മയിൽ പീലി ചൂടിക്കൊണ്ടും മഞ്ഞത്തൂഹിൽ ചുറ്റിക്കൊണ്ടും മയിൽ ൂതിക്കൊണ്ടും കണി കാണണം മയിൽ പീലി ചൂടിക്കൊണ്ടും മഞ്ഞത്തൂഹിൽ ചുറ്റിക്കൊണ്ടും മണിക്കുഴൽ ഊതിക്കൊണ്ടും കണി കാണണം ചെത്തി മന്ദാരം തുളസി പിച്ചകമാലകൾ ചാത്തി ഗുരുവായൂരപ്പ നിന്നെ കണി കാണണം വാഗച്ചാട്ട് കഴിയുമ്പോൾ വാസനപ്പൂ അണിയുമ്പോൾ ഗോപികമാർ കൊതിക്കുന്നോരുടൽ കാണണം വാഗച്ചാട്ട് കഴിയുമ്പോൾ വാസനപ്പൂ അണിയുമ്പോൾ ഗോപികമാർ കൊതിക്കുന്നോരുടൽ കാണണം ചെത്തി മന്ദാരം തുളസി പിച്ചകമാലകൾ ചാത്തി ഗുരുവായൂരപ്പ നിന്നെ കണി കാണണം ആഗതിയാമണിയന്റെ അശ്രുവീണു കുതിർന്നോരു ആവിൽ പോലി കൈക്കൊള്ളുവാൻ കണി കാണണം ആഗതിയാമണിയന്റെ അശ്രുവീണു കുതിർന്നോരു ആവിൽ പോലി കൈക്കൊള്ളുവാൻ കണി കാണണം ചെത്തി മന്ദാരം തുളസി പിച്ചകമാലകൾ ചാത്തി ഗുരുവായൂരപ്പ നിന്നെ കണി കാണണം ഗുരുവായൂരപ്പ നിന്നെ കണി കാണണം
महाविद्या आद्याशक्ति परमेश्वरी काली कालिका महाकाली महासरस्वती महालक्ष्मी তুমি ভগবতী মহাকালী মহাসরস্বতী মহালক্ষ্মী তুমি ভগবতী তুমি বেদ মাতা তুমি গায়ত্রী তুমি বেদ মাতা তুমি গায়ত্রী ষোড়শী কুমারী বালিকা পরমা প্রকৃতি জগদম্বিকা ভবানী ত্রিলোক পালিকা মহাবিদ্যা আদ্যা শক্তি পরমেশ্বরী কালিকা কোটি ব্রহ্মা বিষ্ণু রুদ্র মা মহামায়া তবু মায়া সৃষ্টি করিয়া করিতেছ লয় সৃষ্টি করিয়া করিতেছ লয় সমুদ্রের জল বিম্বগায় অচিন্ত পরমাত্মা রূপিণী সুর নর জড় চর প্রসবিনী অচিন্ত পরমাত্মা রূপিণী সুর নর জড় চর প্রসবিনী নমস্তে 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 শিবে অশুভ নাশিনী তারা মঙ্গল কালিকা পরমা প্রকৃতি জগদম্বিকা ভবানী